Dear ones, my goodness, what a joy it is to me today to be here with you in person after such a long time. I tell you, I can't even put into words what it means. And to you, beloved people listening in and tuned in, and anybody who may have tuned in for the first time, we're so delighted to be here in your company and have your presence amongst us. And I know you will continue to stay tuned in. And I know some of you are not here today because you got used to sitting in your bunny slippers and having your cup of coffee beside you and relaxing in your easy chair and just listening in. And that's okay too. That's okay too. And I'm delighted for each and every one of us that are present in this community today. And it is a good day. It's a great day. It's a God day. And so, seek and you shall find, it says in the scripture. Seek and you shall find. But here's the thing that we don't really pay attention to that much, is that we're being sought after. That the one, the presence, the power, the infinite creator of all things is always seeking us. We think we're the seekers. No, we're not. Spirit is the seeker, and we are the found, if we allow ourselves to be found. Mark made very wonderful, wonderful, wonderful points in his mini lesson. So the whole thing about seeking is when you think that you have to do it, it makes it a chore. And it's not a chore, and you don't have to seek, because you're already in possession of what we are told we ought to be seeking. The kingdom of heaven within, which is the kingdom of consciousness, that we are, whether awake in it or asleep in it, we are the kingdom of consciousness. And consciousness is the key always. Always consciousness is the key. So the question for you and for me today is, where am I in my mind? You know, because once you discover the mind and awaken consciousness, everything else falls into place. It really does. And most of us are in battle with our minds too much of the time. Most of us are battling with our minds too much of the time. But that's only because this thing called the egoic mind of us is in charge most of the time. And the egoic mind of us is a construct that we have produced from our human experience. And our human experience gets frightened and scared and afraid a lot of the time. And we feel helpless and we feel hopeless, and especially in the face of challenges that we think are bigger than we are. But there is no challenge that is bigger than you are. No challenge is bigger than you are. Not when you're aligned with the one mind and you're consciously awake and aware that you don't have to do a thing. All you have to do is to step into alignment with that one mind and allow it to flow through you, through your thinking, through your feeling, through your decision-making, through your actions, through your being. And you don't have to do anything other than that, and neither do I. And I have to put this huge thing into this much now as we share these moments together. I read all of my life, but I read recently a tiny little, skinny little pamphlet that reminded me of the key to everything, every challenge that you and I may have, the key to every single challenge that you and I might have. And that would be to listen, to seek the kingdom of heaven and its righteousness, and understand that then all things else will be added unto us. And where did the great master teacher say the kingdom of heaven was? He said, it's within you. It is you, actually. It is you. You are an important pulse in the beat of the one life. And within that pulse that you are is the kingdom. Is everything available to you for the health of your mind, your body, your heart, your soul, and the great body of your affairs? And what do you have to do to realize that? One thing and one thing alone. Align yourself with its flow. let God be God by means of you, as Meister Eckhart said in the 15th century. Let God, let the good be good by means of you. Go with the flow of it. Leave it to the one. See, the problem why you and I don't accomplish and achieve all of the things that we would like to accomplish and achieve that are good is because we think, I have to do it. Me do it. I have to do it. No, you don't, because you can't. It's not possible for you to do it. Why? Because the human mind is limited and it cannot fully understand the infinite. So what you do is align yourself with the infinite mind and say, you do it. You do it by means of me. And I will come into alignment with your power, your presence, your energy. And I will not worry, and I will not be anxious, and I will not take a care for one tad of a thing that is good in my life. I will not, because I know I don't have to, because you do it. That you being the power and the presence of the infinite intelligent beingness that is living and moving and having its being by means of you, whether you keep it asleep or not, whether I keep it asleep or not, or whether we allow it to awaken and become the great and amazing, powerful energy that can move through us and not only take care of our needs, but all of the needs of the world, because you have become its channel. Francis of Assisi, make me a channel of your peace. And he's only saying, make me a conscious channel of your peace. You're already a channel of peace, of life, of light, of love. But you have to come into alignment with it, as do I. And we get ourselves into terrible trouble when we forget that. When we forget, I have to do it. Go back to the master teacher. I of myself do nothing. It is the power, it is the presence of the Father, the one within me that does the work. Give it up. Hand it over. And how do you know when you've given it up and handed it over? When there's no more anxiety in you. When there's no more worry in you. When you're not being troubled by any person, place, or thing. When you know you've given it up, you've handed it over, it's incapable, competent energy. And if you would stick with the program and keep knowing that it's being taken care of, well, by Jiminy Crickets, one day you'll wake up and it has been taken care of. That's how it works. You work the program, which is seek first the kingdom and all its righteousness, and everything else will be added unto you. Seek first your conscious awareness of yourself as more than a human being. Stop thinking of yourself as merely a human being. Just know that you're a portal. You're here on this plane as a portal of cosmic life. And you can either open the portal and release that or not. And the reason why we don't is because we suffer spiritual amnesia when we come into this three-dimensional, very dense plane, dense in energy. And we have to wake up. That's our only job. Everywhere in the scriptures you'll read, awake, 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 awake. So many times. Wake up! Wake up! Let that life that fills you, let that love within you, let that peace that empowers you, let that intelligence that is capable of any great good thing, can mend and fix and heal anything. Because it's not you doing it. It's the one being allowed to flow through and take care of it. How long is it going to take us to understand me cannot do it? But we're like the little kids that think we can do everything. First thing a child will say, me do it, me do it, me do it, me do it. It's funny when that child grows up, the child says, you do it, you do it, you do it, you do it. All of a sudden, me do it. It's not that exciting. The one through you does it. You are not just you. Are we going to get that in this lifetime, or do we have to come back again? Oh, please, God, no. Go through it all again with the same challenging people in your life, getting on your very last nerve again. Wouldn't you rather go someplace even greater than this? And this is a great place. God, I love chocolate. This is a great place. Somebody else is sitting there saying, God, I love wine. You are meant to be progressive, to evolve, to keep evolving into more and more and more of this great infinite intelligence that you are an expression of and are supposed to express. And look at the tiny little lives we choose to live. Running in a heap like ants, collecting like ants, never having enough, wanting more, always the need in us for more and more and more, because we haven't recognized what fills us. And until we recognize what fills us, we'll want to be collecting like the ants more and more and more stuff and things. And then your children will say, Mother of goodness, how are we going to get rid of all of this stuff now? I've noticed many people offloading everything when they get to a certain point in their lives. Minimalizing. Don't wait until then. Minimalize the stuff and things and increase the power within you. And you'll have more time in your life then to be, as the poet said, what is this life if full of care? We have not time to stand and stare. And others will say, what is this life if full of care? We have not time to stand away from our gadgets for a second and stare. How many of us are absolutely hooked left, right, center to our gadgets? And we don't even look at each other when we're talking to each other anymore. We're going, oh, yes, okay, that sounds like a good idea. Yeah, I'll meet you at 9:30. Okay, all right then, bye. How are you and I going to get in touch with that power and that presence if we're not able to stop, sit, be still, or stop, stand, and be still, and stare within ourselves to that power, to that light, to that amazing center of all knowledge that has every answer to our every question, has everything within it to take care of all of our business that may be before us, big, little, and small, because it doesn't know anything about big, little, and small. Nothing is impossible in spirit. Nothing is impossible in infinite intelligence. Say but the word, and my servant shall be healed, said the centurion to the master teacher Jesus. And Jesus said, amen, I say to you, look up here, kids. I've never found anyone with this kind of faith amongst my own. But this man, an outcast and a stranger, centurions were not popular in Israel at that time, I can tell you. He comes along and he shows us what faith is all about. Say but the word, and my servant shall be healed. Now, when you're in prayer, what kind of a prayer are you in? Oh, God, please, please help me. Help me. We go back to what we learned in the beginning. Please help me. I promise, honestly, please, just do it, please. This one more time. Now, our spiritual mind treatment work really is the affirmation of the good that we desire to accomplish. However, there is deeper prayerfulness to be engaged in. And if you and I can engage in that deeper prayerfulness, we don't need any words at all. And that is to be still and know, to be still and feel, to be still and experience the energy of the presence that fills you. And just in having that experience, everything unlike it must leave you, and your life cannot be where it is, because it is whole. It is complete. It is all accomplished within the whole. Could you be still enough? Could you be mindful enough? Could you listen enough to have this experience, to give this experience to yourself? Not just to be thinking about God, whatever that is, but to be feeling the experience of that full and total embodiment in you of the one life. The whole life. Full life. Complete life. That heals you of every single thing that you could possibly have owned or imagined, and leave you transported and transformed like Jesus on the Mount of Tabor when he was transfigured with his disciples, his dearest ones around him. They couldn't see him, he was so full of light. He says, listen, that's just not my experience. It can be your experience too. What I have accomplished, you can accomplish too, and why not? But can you put the gadgets aside long enough? Can you cease the inner chatter long enough? Can you be still long enough just to be open with nothing on your mind except an invitation? Speak, for I am listening. Maranatha, the cry of Advent. Come, come, Lord, which is, of course, law. That means come, law, be what you're meant to be in and through and by means of me, and I will rise up. In truth, in knowledge, in grace, in awareness. That's what's available to you by means of this teaching, and not just this teaching. Got an itchy nose, somebody's thinking of me. Or they say in Ireland, money is coming to me. Got an itchy nose? Money is coming to you. Some people say that's a fight. Not in Ireland, it means money. And money is substance. What do you want, dear hearts? Where do you want to be just now? What's in your mind? What's in your heart? What is your desire? Now, I know that many of us come from many different backgrounds, many different ideologies, many different this, that, and the other. That's our diversity, and it's wonderful. It's not a bad thing, it's just diversity. But as students of truth, as followers of signs of mind and spirit, none of those differing opinions should mean a whit when we are together. Who cares about our difference in opinion? We're only caring about the one truth that your life is just as important as my life, that your life is part of my life, that my life is part of your life, that we are one great huge body or organism, and each one of us is a cell, but not just a cell, but a concentric circular cell in that one body. We're all touching each other, part of each other, like it or lump it, I love it. We're all part of each other. I'm glad we're not all the same. I'm glad we don't look the same, think the same, feel the same. How boring would that be? But that doesn't mean you and I have to be at fisticuffs with each other. We can enjoy our differences and agree to disagree, especially when we're in our spiritual community. Nothing should pass our lips that's not going to unite us, celebrate us, support us, make us feel safe, comfortable, and secure. That's our intention. That's our intention. And we will forget it at times, but the rest of us will gently nudge us back into wakefulness, and all is well. This is a momentous moment for us all, because we are starting now to open up to whatever it is the Spirit wants us to know as we rebuild what this community is meant to be. And it hasn't become yet what it is meant to be. And this is exciting. And each one of us is at a very extremely important building block, looking into, you're included. I hear a phone ringing and that says, it's time to move on to the next thing. Thank you, whoever's phone that is, because we've been away so long we could go on, and we're not going to. Just to say that you are extremely, extraordinarily significant and important in our world right now. You signed up to come in and say, I will go, I will help, I will assist, I will be a part and the front line of the transformation that's happening on planet Earth right now, and I will do no harm in the process, provided I stay connected with my source and I allow my source to do everything through me. I'm going to relieve you in this moment now of having to do anything you don't. From here on in, no, you have to do nothing at all, except allow a space in your life for Spirit to move through you and to be its portal, and let it take care of all of our needs so that we can know all is well and we are safe and we are secure in the one who lives, moves, and has his being within us. But not just me, but in you and you and you and you and everyone out there. There are no bad people. Now, I know that sounds strange. There are people who have so lost themselves in illusion and sleep that they have forgotten who they are, but there are no bad people. All have the same presence and power moving through them, and some of us respond more greatly. So I'm going to leave you with knowing that you are the point of light through which the Infinite One expresses itself in a radiant being if you allow it. And boy, would it love you to allow it to pamper you and take care of you and keep you safe and well and keep you always in its heart, as it always does, but consciously. That's all that needs to happen for us. Be not afraid, I go before you always. Come, follow me. I am with you always as I have always been, and I shall always be with you, says the scriptures. So now I have people waiting down there to come forward. We were leaving every second row available so that they could pass through every row and so on. So this is our first endeavor at this, but understand that things are not caught by touching surfaces. They're caught on the air, and so is love. So let's take our gifts and hold our gifts between our blessing hands and say, divine love consecrates my gift. It goes forth to heal, to bless, to prosper. All those who give and all those who receive, I rejoice in the sharing of my gift, and I release my gift with love, and so it is. Thank you. And now, we have Reverend Catherine coming to give us something that's lovely to listen to share with us, and these are always joyous messages to me.
This is the time in our service where we acknowledge our mission statement, which is to honor your presence, to nurture your spirit, and to enrich the lives of all we serve. And we share messages that help us do this, show how we're doing this. And one of the things we do at this center is to honor our teens and our teen program. And last week, there was CSL Teen Camp, and it was on Zoom. And as the camp director noted at the end, that in 2019, when we were in person, there were over 300 people there. Last year in 2020, when we were on Zoom, there were 200. And this year in person, there were 35 to 40. Everyone prefers to be in person, but the ones who came were the ones who knew that they really benefited from camp and needed camp. And that is what they got. There were wonderful experiences. And as the adults were there, can say that the teens that we met absolutely benefited from all the workshops and all the things we did. And I was going to share with you just a couple of things. There was a workshop in which the teens were talking about fitting in versus belonging. And the first thing that the moderator said was, what is the difference? And many of you may be thinking how you would answer that. But the teens said very quickly, raising their hand and said, you fit yourself in versus you are one of in belonging. Another said, fitting in is anxiety, belonging is peaceful. And another said, fitting in is an illusion, but belonging is real. These teen programs are the things that we support because we are getting 13 to 18-year-olds knowing and talking about things that many adults are not quite able to do and be. I know that the teens have trouble expressing the gratitude they feel. They find all kinds of ways, but what it comes down to more than any other one thing is camp changed my life. Camp changed my life. Steve Gabrielson, who is the teen director, said if I had a dime every time I heard a teen say, camp changed my life, he said I'd have a reliable income. That is the way it is. And I am so proud that our center has a long history of supporting our teens. They're meeting today on Zoom and plan to meet in person next week. They miss it very much, just as the adults do. Thank you for every one of you who has supported the teen program in many ways in all of the years that we've been doing that. It means a lot.
Reverend Catherine. It's wonderful work to be working with our teens. Today being our first opening, we have to share a good amount with you, and it may be a little longer than we anticipated, but we'll get back to normal, God willing, and the creek don't rise next Sunday, as Mrs. McKinney likes to say. That's what they say down south in Alabama. God willing, and the creek don't rise. Anyway, I want to thank those who have been so stalwart on your behalf, taking care of us as a spiritual community and making sure we're meeting the needs of that the spiritual community meets, especially the dedicated group on a Wednesday and on a Sunday, and the same group throughout the week. So we have Beverly back there, and Beverly Conover, just stand. We have Donna. Oh my goodness, we have Donna too back there. Here every Sunday, and for most of our Sundays, we had Katie, and she's here. Please stand, Katie. Yes, and we have had, where are you? Where did she disappear to? We have Reverend Catherine, who's stood in every single time and has not missed a beat on Sundays. Where is Tracy? God knows where Tracy is. But anyway, Tracy's been here all of the time too. Melissa, who couldn't be with us today, she's coming back from her vacation week. She too has been such a staunch trooper. You know, we've had different people helping out with cameras and sound, but these ones have been here Sunday after Sunday after Sunday after Sunday, Wednesday after Wednesday after Wednesday after Wednesday. And I have to say, and then our staff, and Doris, of course, has kept the campfires burning. And Alex, who's not here, and then all the other people who have come in to serve our needs as staff. It's just been amazing. And I want to say a big shout out to everybody, but mostly to each one of you. Without you, we couldn't have kept the doors open, and the doors have always been open. We've been here every single day, and for most of the time, 7 days a week, some of us, because believe it or not, we've been busier than ever, naturally, on your behalf. I want you to know, because of you being in community and your financial support and your food support, etc., we have helped so many amazing people along the way during these taxing times. And I'm very proud of this community, and it's an honor to be part of this community. So thank each and every single one of you, the prayer ministry especially, and the ministers and the practitioners. Without the prayer ministry, practitioners and ministers, you know, we couldn't do what we're doing and being who we're being. So God bless each and every one, and all of those hidden ones. I think I saw Ashley here today. She's been out in the world helping and serving those in need too. I don't know if she's still here or not. And Donna Dowick doing the same thing, and many others doing it, not only representing the church, but themselves too. We've had Beverly and Kathy doing their chaplaincy out there in the world, and Mark and Monica have been amazing out there as they were keeping the campfires burning too. Oh my goodness. And also our wonderful gatherers in the park, the Labyrinth group, which will be back again. Yes, Kathy and Jane and everyone. And I don't wish to miss anybody's name, but especially all of you have been sending in those envelopes. Really, we just couldn't have done it without you. Vicky showing up every Wednesday with her envelope after the service. Vicky's back there, and Fred too. Sometimes it was Fred, but mostly Vicky. And we're very moved by it all. And it made it possible for those 8 of us who are here all the time to do a good job as best we could, knowing that you were all there supporting the whole thing, because this is a divine idea in the mind of God, the Redondo Beach Center for Spiritual Living, and I believe its work is only really beginning now, and it'll take off into another direction, I'm sure of it, because our needs are changing as time goes on, and we'll find out together what our spiritual needs are, and we'll endeavor to answer them and bring comfort to the world, because that's what your job is now and mine, to bring comfort and ease to the world, beginning with ourselves and in our own families. And it hasn't been easy, but we've had the people who have put together the videos for Sundays. We've had the people who have come in and sung and been recorded. And I have to say, Andy has shown up every single Sunday. Every single Sunday. And he comes from afar. He comes from another planet to get here. He comes from afar every week, and he has done that, and he has done it with such a good spirit. But we'll gradually get back into including more, and revealing more. And then we've had the practitioners and we've had the ministers who have taken on every Sunday the mini lesson. And of course, they have been stellar, and they have been outstanding, and we're delighted. We're delighted to have such a beautiful spiritual arm of Redondo Beach here, building up something great and good and wonderful and new again. And God bless each and every one of you as you yourself discover within yourself what's yours to do in this time, in this age, and how to be the best that you can be. And we're here for you, and I mean that. But we cannot be here for you if you have a need and you don't let us know. The people who have let us know have been helped. But there have been more of you who have been in need and we didn't know about it. And I am really, really sorry about that. That's why we're in spiritual community, to take care of each other. So for heaven's sake, speak up if you need some help. Help is always available. So now we are going to have our prayer, and this prayer is for peace in our own minds, in our own hearts, under our own roofs, in our own homes, so that then we can go out into the world and be peace builders and love bringers and wise portals out there in such a mixed world as is ours. But no matter what a wonderful world it is. So let's pray now and know that our hearts are filled and our souls are soaring with that commitment to be all that we can be. I know divine love enfolds me, divine light leads me, divine life lives in me, divine wisdom inspires me, divine compassion expresses through me, and divine power protects me. All that I am is Spirit's light and expression. It is good and very good. With deep joy and generosity filling me, I go forward now in sacred service, supporting a compassionate world that works for all. I move through my of you is on the move upward, forward, and onward. So now we're going to have, for those who would so desire it, a little bit of outside fellowship. There will be coffee and there will be muffins, I am told, this Sunday. And then we'll let you know about next Sunday. We may not be able to open up the kitchen yet, but we may just serve it's up to you, serve coffee, and you can bring your own little brown bag or whatever. I'm not sure, we're still figuring it out. So now we are going to have Andy play the peace song, and then you're up, out, and at it. And welcome home, my dear ones, welcome home.